Welcome back to another episode of the Supernaturals. We're your hosts. That's Cal. I'm Jake.
Hey.
Sometimes I'm like, who do I say first? I don't think it matters, but it's a dilemma in my head every time. Tired, huh?
It's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Sure is.
On a Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Sipping, I mean, this is going to come out Wednesday, but sipping a coffee.
Happy Wednesday. It's true.
We hope you guys are enjoying listening to the sound of Jake and I's voice on your
soothing
morning commute or your
lovely day at work.
Yeah, whatever it is you guys are doing. We hope you're having a great
Who
day.
knows?
Dang, that'd be so sick if people were listening to us while they were working out.
That'd be crazy.
I don't think I've ever worked out to a podcast though.
No, I haven't either.
I have to have like
music, but
I gotta have like heavy screamo music playing.
That's crazy.
Or
I do not have that.
I do. It's funny because I don't listen to it like any other time in my life, but I'll listen like when I'm going to a workout or whatever. I listen to heavy dubstep, metal step, reggae dubstep, and then metal, hard rock, screamo. All that stuff is full on like when I'm just working out.
Hell yeah. That's sick. I don't, but that's cool.
Do you listen to just like piano music?
No.
I know, dude, some of the dudes on my football team would listen to like relaxing piano music before our games.
Really?
And it was like,
No, I listen to like house and just normal stuff.
yeah. I think
House gets me pumped up. I don't know.
I get it. I get it. Yeah. I think, is it Jason Kelsey? He listens to Christmas music before every game. Well, he used to. He's retired now, but yeah.
Christmas music.
He used to listen to Christmas music before every game.
Dang.
I'm like, hey, man, I definitely like Christmas music. I'm a avid fan when it's the
every
time of year.
Every time before a game?
No, because
often?
the season starts in like September, so I'd be listening to Christmas music in September, and I'm like,
That's true.
I celebrate Christmas earlier than a lot of people, but I got to get through Halloween first.
Yes. Yes. Well, I'm excited for today.
Took way bigger of a sip of coffee than I wanted to right there.
At least it didn't spill.
That was brutal, son. All right. Well, guys, you guys have enjoyed our last episodes that have dealt with a similar situation. We've talked about,
Very mysterious theme.
yeah, I would say here on the Supernaturals, we like to look at unsolved mysteries. We like to do the research, gather the facts, and give our take on what might have happened. Jake and I both grew up in Colorado, which means we love outdoorsy stuff. So any unsolved mysteries that have to do with the wilderness are definitely some of our favorites. And we have looked at a few of those so far. Side note, if you haven't watched our episodes on these incidences yet, go check them out because we go deep into the event itself as well as the theories that followed. So first, we took a look pretty early on in the Supernatural's journey. We took a look at the infamous Dyatlov Pass incident.
That we did.
That was where a bunch of cross-country skiers from Russia disappeared without a trace. And the state of their footprints showed that they ran away without their heavy coats, and some were even barefoot. Their bodies found... it's early. The bodies found were missing tongues, eyeballs, and some featured radiation on the little clothes that they were wearing. We came to the conclusion that it was either aliens or Russian experiments, the latter being more likely. Mm-hmm. Then we tackled the Kammer-Dobbin incident, which happened way later and featured a hiking club. The members of the club all lost their minds in the summertime at the Kammer-Dobbin mountain range. They freaked out all at the same time. Some tore at their throats, others bashed their own heads into rocks. There was one survivor who told the story. Jake and I looked at this incident and found that nearby, in the same mountain range, the Russian government were working on a new nerve gas, which we believed was released upon the hiking group as sort of an experiment on how the gas would work. This begged the question, if there wasn't a survivor, would the government have tried to hide it? And how many more incidents like this have happened, but they succeeded in their experiment, therefore we don't know about it? Crazy stuff.
Probably too many to tell.
Probably, dude. Yeah.
When you truly think about it, these two have escaped to the public, but I guarantee there's more like it.
Yeah. Well, Dyatlov was interesting because, it was a documented, like they were part of it was like a school or something like that.
They were doing like research for it. And
well,
stuff,
they were doing a cross country ski trip. And so it was documented that they were up there and then they,
when they didn't come back
and they were like, okay, we have to,
go find them.
And then they found them and it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The Comrade Dobbin one, that one is like, remember they tried to, the coroner tried to like immediately say it was like just hypothermia in the middle of August.
Yeah.
And you're like,
these two things don't add up here.
All at the same time too. Like hypothermia hits people at different times. So if it was hypothermia, what are the odds that they all would have freaked out, lost their minds, and like off themselves? Like,
right. There's so many factors that go into it: body weight, muscle mass, all that type of stuff.
So all at the same time? No, there was something they walked through, and we believe on the supernaturals that it was a nerve gas, but that's just us.
That is just us.
I know somebody commented on our video and said that they believed it was hypothermia. Well, we appreciate you listening and sharing your opinion, but I will have to politely disagree with you. But that's what we're here for. We're here for a conversation. So please go watch those videos if you haven't yet, or listen to them or whatever you're doing, and let us know in the comments because we'd love to know.
We will link them to this video so they're easier to find for you.
But just know that we believe good old Russia is up to no good in both of those incidences. So while those two incidents occurred in the Russian Siberian part of the world, did you know that America has their own mystery like this?
Do we?
So there's no little Russian shit going on here. In fact,
a little American shit.
It happened. It happened in Yuba County, California. It's still a mystery to this day. So everybody, lock in.
Lock the fuck in.
Grab your coffee and sit back, relax, or, keep typing away at, those forms that need to be done.
Do good work. That's key.
Be the best in your office building. Be the best.
But also enjoy the show.
Oh, okay. That was smooth. All right, hang on.
I'm excited.
Sorry, I got a lot of
I know a little bit
here.
about this. And it's funny because I actually was going to do all the research for this. And then, things got crazy. Things changed. I had to do more editing stuff. But so Cal took over. But I had bought a book for it.
Yeah. So he
didn't even read the book, but
I didn't read the book. No,
I will read it at some point.
The book kind of featured a lot of the stuff that I was doing here. It just kind of went into more of what the local authorities were saying and stuff, but there was kind of like a main idea of what happened to them, whether it was with the family, the authorities, whatever, the locals, everything. So we kind of dive into that a little bit, but all right.
Needless to say, though, I'm excited, and I hope you're excited. And let's dive in.
This episode took me a while to do. There's kind of a lot of shit here. So just, be ready.
He needs another drink, apparently.
Sorry. I'm getting that pumpkin state of mind. It's actually not even pumpkin spice coffee. We're not there yet. But
thought I saw it was like McCafe.
Actually, yeah, it is. I got this like famous, I don't know, Keurig thing. They didn't have the pods that I wanted.
Like the cinnamon
I get
roll
the
one?
Cinnabon coffee
Is
pods.
that actually that good?
Oh my God, dude, it's fantastic. So the famous pack that I got had 4 of like a bunch of different flavors from a bunch of different coffee shops, and 4 of them are the Cinnabon ones. So I was like, well, at least I still get them.
You haven't drank them yet?
I drank one yesterday. Yeah. But I'm trying to knock out like the McCafe, the Green Mountain, like the donut shop.
Green Mountain is my favorite.
The McCafe is not bad. I'm not going to lie to you. Also, the donut shop one's pretty good. There's a Dunkin' Donuts one too.
I'm sure that's probably pretty good too.
Not Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme.
Ooh.
Yeah. It doesn't taste like donut. It's just like a medium roast.
It matches with donuts. Doesn't taste like donuts.
Exactly.
Yes.
It matches well with donuts. Unlike the Cinnabon one is the only one that's actually
like sweet.
Yeah,
like meant to be like
a cinnamon roll. Yeah.
Well, I hope you drink some delicious coffee as well.
A little tangent there.
Let's jump in.
The beginning. This particular story begins in Yuba City, California in 1978. 5 friends, Jackie Hewitt, Bill Sterling, Jack Madruga, Ted Weir, and Gary Mathias, were known by family members as the Boys. These men ranged in age from the youngest being 24 and the oldest being 32. Each one of the men had a mild disability issue, and because of that, they all lived at home with their parents, which there's nothing wrong with that at all.
No, nothing at all. I was going to say, I was curious if they were like stable enough to be on their own.
Yes.
Did it ever say their age or anything yet?
Yeah, well, the youngest was 24.
Okay.
The oldest was 32. I could go into all the ages, but it's just they're in that age
the
range.
range is good. The range is fine.
So despite their disabilities, as you said, they were all able to live independently for the most part. They would often spend time away from their families and even take short road trips together. Jack had a Mercury Montego and would often be the driver of the group. One thing they did often was go play basketball at the vocational rehabilitation center in Yuba City. So, there were just a couple of guys who enjoyed playing basketball and going on short trips. Sounds like us and our friends, to be honest.
Yeah, it really does. We go play basketball. We go on trips.
Yep. So one day while they were playing basketball, the boys discovered that there was a tournament being put on by the Special Olympics in Sacramento on February 25th. Apparently, the grand prize for this tournament was a week-long paid vacation to Los Angeles. The boys were motivated to bring home that trip. Now, that's pretty sick because in our basketball league, the prize is like a painted silver Solo cup. So,
Go get that win.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. I guess we do have that one tournament. And they said that there's prizes for first, second, third place. I don't know
what's
what
a prize, like a T-shirt.
I don't know. I would assume it's like a step up probably from our league.
Yeah.
But yeah, regardless.
It does cost like $300.
Bring back good. They're expensive leagues.
Expensive.
Give us prizes.
Literally make a trophy.
Yeah. Like a little trophy.
Just give one trophy or one big trophy to the team.
Yeah.
Who gives a crap?
It's like dog or a shirt. It's a shirt.
Yeah.
We pay hella for that league.
I know.
I'd wear a shirt.
Yeah, they don't even provide you uniforms.
No, we have to buy our own uniforms and stuff.
On top of paying like $800 for the damn thing.
Our uniforms are pretty sick though, so I'm not gonna get mad. Anyway.
That's not the point, Cal.
I know. So, before we go any further into this story, I do want to take a look at one of the boys. It's not too crazy, but this information is pretty important later on. Gary Mathias. Born in 1952, Gary was only 25 at the time of the incident. And in the early 1970s, Gary actually served in the Army and was stationed in West Germany. While he was in the Army, Gary actually developed serious drug problems. This led to him acting strangely, and he even acted out on a few occasions, leading the Army to examine Gary. After their examination, they determined that due to the drug use, Gary had developed a form of schizophrenia and he was given psychiatric discharge from service. So Gary moved back home, but the problems only continued. Gary was admitted to a local mental hospital in California to help work on his condition. During his time there, he was actually almost arrested on 2 separate occasions for assault. He also had a few psychotic episodes that put him in the VA hospital. But while his return home started on an unfortunate note, by 1978, Gary was on 2 different drugs and his episodes were next to none.
That's good.
In fact, members at the mental hospital called Gary one of our sterling success cases.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I always had wondered what they do for people like that with conditions like that. Because, how do you control that? Yeah, medication. But what if the medication just becomes unbalanced and you have episodes again and you have to find the right one in time or bad things could happen, you know? It's just like, who knows?
Well, I kind of think it's like we were saying before, everybody's body is like different, you know, everybody's body reacts to like differently to stuff. And it's kind of like, I'm a big Venom fan, and it's like Venom, like the symbiotes have to find like the right host to like actually be like
to be able to carry them.
Yeah. You know, otherwise they die or they feed off of the host and then they have to jump to the next one. And it's like, you have to achieve like perfect symbiosis. So like, I don't know, somebody like Gary, who probably like the drugs were just like perfect for his, you know what I mean? Well,
it's a lucky find.
They might be. We'll see. It seemed that they were. So just keep all of this in mind.
One thing to point out is I said the unbalanced thing because I know when people take medicine for bipolar, that can become unbalanced and they have to go in and change meds.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's true. Yeah.
Things can go crazy.
They can. So, anyway, just, you know,
keep that in the back of your head.
Yeah. Think about good old Gary Mathias and what I just said. Because it might come into use later when we talk about theories. And,
you know, when I was thinking and you were listing off the people's names, Gary's name stuck out to me for some reason.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, let's get into the good old meat and potatoes of what happened on that night. So, the disappearance. On February 24th, 1978, the boys, who consisted of, again, Gary Mathias, Ted Weir, Jack Madruga, Bill Sterling, and Jackie Hewitt all decided to go on one of their little road trips. The trip was to go see a college basketball game in Chico, California, which is around 47 miles away, so relatively an hour. The game was Cal State at Chico versus UC Davis. The boys made it to Chico and enjoyed the game. After the game ended, they were even seen grabbing snacks and chocolate milk from a convenience store. Now, if you look at the map of the area, you can see a little portion of forest off to the northeast of the city of Chico. That forest is known as the Plumas National Forest. For those of you who don't know, it actually does snow quite a bit in Northern California. It's not to the extent of what we have here in the Rocky Mountains, but it is commonly forgotten that California does indeed have snow.
Is that where like Big Bear is and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this particular trip, the Plumas National Forest was getting dumped on by blankets of that powdery white stuff. So you may be asking yourself, Cal, what the hell does this random forest have to do with anything?
I was thinking that. You
right. Said it wasn't like northeast of Chico, which means it was the complete opposite direction from Yuba City. And yes, I'm aware of that. And we'll get into why the forest is so important here in a second. So just, hold tight.
If they got lost in the forest, I can tell you it is fucking hard to get out of being lost in shit.
Okay. So here, a little geography thing here. So essentially, Yuba City is 47 miles south of Chico. Mm-hmm. So they went from Yuba City north to Chico, northeast, the complete opposite direction. Like literally you keep going north and then you just go to the right a little bit. That's northeast. I
didn't know that.
I'm just making sure. That complete opposite direction in the mountains too. That's Plumas National Forest. Okay. So
and they were supposed to go the other way.
They were supposed to just go back south.
Gotcha. Okay. So they went to Chico for the game.
Yes.
And they were supposed to go back south.
Yes. Immediately after the game. Now hold tight.
Something drew them to the forest.
Getting ahead of me. So
I'm just taking some thoughts, man. I don't
know. The night came and went. And in the morning, the parents of the boys all noticed that their boys never returned home. And this was strange. Not only were they not the kind of young men that would stay out all night, but if they wanted to get to their tournament, they would have had to have been home and left by now. So the parents freaked out, as you obviously would in this situation.
Of course.
And Jack Madruga's mom decided to call the police, starting the search for the boys. Police searched the road between Yuba City and Chico. However, nothing came of it. It wasn't until police received a call on February 27th, 3 days after the disappearance. The call was from a forest ranger on the Plumas National Forest, and he broke the news.
That's got to be so, like, tough to hear.
Yeah.
You just get that call. You're expecting, like, oh, you found my baby. And they just have, like, bad news.
Well, the news itself was that Jack Madruga's car was found stuck in a snowbank. And you want to know where the car was found? A mere 50 miles in the opposite direction they were supposed to be heading in to return home to Yuba City. So why exactly were they there?
I'm assuming you're going to tell us, Cal, or give us at least a little bit more information so I can create a theory here.
I'll try. This is some whack stuff, guys. The only evidence that was available was in the car. For starters, the car had run into a snowbank, as I said, but it wasn't stuck enough to where 5 grown men couldn't have pulled it out. So that was red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 is that there were maps inside of the glove box, which you would think, shows that they couldn't have gotten lost.
They know how to get back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the final red flag, the biggest one, in my opinion, was that there was still a quarter tank of gas left. This means that the men crashed the car, took the keys, and decided to run off into the Plumas National Forest at night while it snowed. Red flags flying.
Yeah, they didn't run out of gas at all.
They didn't run out of gas. They had navigation tools. Like, why were they even there?
Someone convinced them to go there.
It's okay. Yeah. Jake's formulating theories here.
Someone convinced them to go there, and they probably, hit some black ice or something, hit the snowbank. From there, I have no idea.
Why were they there, though, is the question.
One of them said, let's go check out this forest. We're close anyway. Well, that could be convincing.
Maybe.
It could be.
Maybe. We'll see.
They'll be like, but my mom will get mad. It's okay. We'll get back.
They had to get to Sacramento the next day for a tournament, which meant a lot to them.
I don't know.
All right. So police.
You can be persuaded pretty easily when 4 people gang up on the one that doesn't want to go.
Peer pressure is a hell of a drug.
It sure is.
Police started the search of the surrounding area almost immediately. But alas, another intense winter storm rolled in, forcing the search to pause. But this is when things get absolutely fucking bonkers. Literally, strap the fuck in and ready yourself. Okay. Introducing Joseph Scones.
Scones are pretty good.
I think that's how you say his name. I don't know. So during the hiatus of the search, a man came forward with potential information. The man's name, as I mentioned before, was Joseph Scones.
A witness.
Joseph was actually driving along the same road in the Plumas National Forest on the night of February 24th. He claimed that he was heading to check on his cabin that resided in the timber. But alas, the snow was too brutal and Scones actually got himself stuck in a snowbank. Cursing the storm, he got out and attempted to free his car. That's when he felt something was wrong. Scones actually had a heart attack right there on the road. He collapsed and was unable to move a muscle.
Holy fuck.
At around 11:30 that night, Scones, lying on the fucking pavement, noticed headlights coming towards him. Weirdly, the car stopped and he said that he noticed 5 men getting out of the car. He also mentioned that he could see a woman and a baby accompanying the men. Joseph then mentioned that he called for help, but that's when the 5 men stopped their talking and went quiet. Eventually, the group disappeared. Joseph said he continued to lay there, crying for help. That was until about 2 hours later. He noticed 2 flashlight beams in the darkness, but regardless, nobody came to help him. It took a while for Scones to recover, but he did end up doing just that. He got to his feet and actually walked his way down the mountain.
This man survived his own heart attack?
And walked down the mountain.
What the actual hell?
He noted that he saw Jack Madruga's car stuck in the snowdrift as he passed, claiming that that was the spot where he saw the 5 men and the woman holding a baby. When the story was told to the police, they weren't sure if Scones actually saw what he claimed, but if it was just his imagination from the heart attack. But either way, it was all the police had to go off of until June, which was when the snow melted, uncovering a dark end to this story.
Interesting. So I have a thought.
Yes.
These guys, have a slight mental disability with all of them, right?
Yes.
So what if I'm just spitballing here.
Yep.
What if this lady asked for a ride? Them being in their mindset, right? Go, it's no big deal if we give her a ride, trying to be super nice. They give her a ride. The baby might be screaming. Who knows? Like, it's really interrupting the driver's focus.
Yeah.
And they lost control and they crashed. Theory 1.
Yeah. No, that's you do share a theory with a lot of people.
That's just that theory.
Yeah. So
why is this woman with them? Maybe they were doing other weird shit. Who knows?
I mean,
but
yeah, we'll get into that.
I don't know, but that's off the top.
So
immediately,
that's what you think, just right now.
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
But the schizophrenia, that piece of the puzzle,
Gary Mathias.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a little interesting.
Yeah.
What if he snatched the baby and ran into the forest? That could be crazy.
That'd be wild. All right. So now we get to June.
Yeah.
When the snow melts. The date was June 4th, 1978. People were enjoying the change in weather, especially up in the Plumas National Forest. There was a group of motorcyclists that decided to drive through the trails of the forest. With the wind in their hair and Mother Nature surrounding them like a warm hug, the group suddenly came across a small building. The building was later uncovered as a Forest Service trailer, which was set up in the woods as a base of sorts. The trailer was 20 miles away from where Madruga's car was stuck in the snowbank. 20 long miles. Curiosity got the best of the bike riders, and they stepped inside. And there, they found the body of Ted Weir. His body was laid across a bed and was wrapped in sheets. His feet were so frostbitten that they were falling apart. However,
yikes.
Yeah, I know. However, his beard was really long and he was really skinny. And if you know, when your body dies, it stops growing and starts decaying. But he showed signs of starvation, and the fact that his beard was still growing proved that Ted was actually alive 2 to 3 months following the disappearance.
So he was just trying to survive.
He recently had died, pretty much.
He just didn't find food.
Yeah.
And
well,
unless he ate his friends.
No.
Okay.
Hang on. I got one more piece of information for you.
His feet were so frostbitten. Did he? Maybe his shoes were off.
Just
okay.
I'm giving you pieces of the puzzle. Hang on. However, a strange discovery was made. These trailers are used as outposts or little bases. Each one is equipped with enough food, water, and extra clothes and other survival equipment in case of the exact scenario that Ted was in. In fact, evidence showed that Ted indeed broke into the trailer, but just left every locker and cabinet shut. It was almost like he just broke in and waited to die. So there was food everywhere.
He had the opportunity.
Opportunity. After this discovery, it didn't take long for search parties that were dispatched in the area to find the others. In fact, it was only one day since the discovery of Ted that the remains of 3 other men were found. Jack Madruga and Bill Sterling's bodies were found only a few miles from the trailer, but it wasn't clear as to if they were ever at or in the trailer, and their bodies were found in poor shape as it looked like wild animals had gotten to them.
Yikes.
2 miles from the trailer in the opposite direction, Jackie Hewitt's spine and shoes were found, and 100 yards away from that, they found his skull. Now, obviously, this story begs a lot of questions to be answered. Why were they out there in the first place? Who was the supposed woman and the baby that were with them? Why were they not eating the food?
Where's Gary?
Why did they even leave the car? But as Jake gets ahead of me, the one question that was still unanswered, one that is more gripping than them all, is where the fuck was Gary Mathias?
That's what I'm saying. You never mentioned him. Where the hell is he?
So Gary could be identified by a few things. His mustache, maybe his comb-over haircut. But the one thing that was always a part of him was his thick black glasses. His father was part of the search parties, and he said, quote, "What I looked for all the time I was up there were his glasses. I didn't think a bear would eat that," end quote. However, they never found Gary's glasses, but they did find his shoes. They were inside the trailer with Ted, showing that Gary had been inside at some point. But you know what? That was it. In fact, Gary's body has still not been discovered. He's just gone. So now that we know the story, let's dive into some theories.
Is Gary still alive?
So, first of all, I do want to ask you, knowing all that, what do you think? Because they had food. Ted was in there like huddled up in sheets and stuff, but his feet were frozen. But Gary's shoes were in there. He could have just put the shoes on and like helped.
Yeah. Gary's shoes were in there, but his shoes were not there.
His shoes were not there. So it's like, what happened? There's no food. There was hella
Were
food.
they
There was
running
hella
from
water.
Stuff.
It's like
maybe they were running from the wildlife that got the others, and they made it to the trailer.
I don't know, but like,
and
even
they were the ones that maybe were slower and fallen or something.
Why did Gary take his shoes off?
It's like that Home Alone scene. Why the hell are your shoes off?
No, but it's like what?
It is a weird thing. Where are his shoes? Unless him and the other guy swapped shoes and he just went out to venture for help and never came back.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, his shoes were gone. So, I mean,
maybe he had boots, right? And he's like, yo, give me your boots. I'm going to go.
True.
And the other dude's like, I'm too cold. I can't go outside.
True.
Why wouldn't he put on Gary's shoes? I don't know. But maybe he had better shoes.
Why would they not open the cabinets to eat?
That is kind of strange.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't know that there was
anything.
I'm
starve.
Not, but remember.
Yeah.
They might have not been thinking clearly because they were fucking freezing.
Yeah, they also
delirious out here.
Mental disabilities.
Exactly. What if they were like, I can't open the cabinets? What if the cabinets were fucking frozen shut at the time?
But they broke into the trailer. So if you break into the trailer,
why would you not snoop around?
Yeah,
I know that is a good question.
Yeah,
that's a good question.
Like none of it adds up.
Where the hell is the lady and the baby?
we'll dive into that. So,
they dropped her off. They got her safe. She's safe and sound.
No, before we get into the theories, I just want to like kind of just go over everything. Like, why were they up there in the first place? Okay, you might be right with the baby, but what if the baby and the woman didn't exist?
Why would the guy be making that up?
Well, he just had a heart attack. So like
maybe
pain
he was
induced.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe he was seeing shit. So there's that.
That is it. That's a good theory.
But the thing is like, okay, so if she didn't exist, why were they up there? That's question number one.
Someone convinced them to go check out the forest.
Second thing, why would they not pull the car out of the snowdrift? Because they said it wasn't that stuck. 5 guys could have pulled it out. What's that about?
Beats me.
Another thing, this trailer was 20 miles away from the car.
Yeah, that's a long
20
journey.
Miles.
It's a long journey.
That's out there. That is out there.
To like run or walk 20 miles is going to take
in the snow
a long time.
Yeah,
well, let's think about this. You can walk a mile basically in like half an hour, roughly. Maybe a little less.
Yeah.
So it's going to take like 10 hours to walk there. In snow, that's a long freaking time.
Yeah. No food. I don't know. Like they could have probably gone in circles. They probably could. I mean,
haven't we passed this tree before?
Yeah. I mean, seriously. Yeah. The fact that they even ended up at the trailer is pretty crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what though. I haven't been lost in like a forest. However, I've been lost in timber.
Yeah.
By myself.
Yeah.
Dude, you do get turned around though.
Oh yeah.
You don't know which way is which. Like if you don't have a compass or whatever, you're like, when we're mushroom hunting and stuff, we don't go in with a compass.
Yeah.
I mean, not my phone, but
yeah.
Say that dies. The only way I'd be able to tell which way is which is at night with stars.
Yeah.
And even then, like it could be covered by trees.
And
it's hard to figure out where you are.
Yeah.
And which way you should be going.
Yeah.
So that could be tough. Like how they got in there, not sure. But once they are in there,
yeah,
I could see how they just ventured in one direction thinking they're trying to get back to the car or road. And then they end up going the complete other way.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a interesting thing for sure. I just I don't know. I've been lost in like hiking trails before. I mean, I've climbed mountains and shit by myself, but it's like, I don't know. You kind of just, I guess a mountain might be a little different than like a
mountain. You can always go down, right?
Well, I guess that's like kind of the whole thing is you're like, I lost the trail. You know, you might see like a cool rock and you're like, okay, I'm going up the rock. And then you're just like, okay, so the trail's back that way. And then you're like, where's it? You're kind of like, where's the trail? But then you just are like, you keep going up. Most of the time you're going to see like the switchback or whatever. And you're going to be like, oh, okay, there's the trail. But I did it one time. I hiked this trail and I was trying to go see a waterfall.
Sick.
It was Green Mountain in southern Colorado. And it was like this overgrown hiking trail. I had to go through like this like backwoods, like crazy road just to get to the parking lot of like the trailhead. It was, dude, I was sitting there and I was driving. And I was like, should I be doing this? Weird people like looking at me and stuff. And I was like, hey, I'm just going to climb that, you know?
Did you get to it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got to the top. I think I told you, so I basically, to get to the waterfall, you had to go up over the mountain and then back down. And then like there was the waterfall down there. But I only made it to the summit because a storm rolled in. So I had to get down.
Gotcha.
But when I was on my way up, it was funny because like the whole trail was just overgrown. I mean, it was like tall grass just overgrowing the trail. And I'm like, God, it'd be easy to get lost up here.
It really is, though.
I got to the top and then I didn't have service at all. And I was like, oh my God, like if I got lost right now, I'd be fucked. And then it was funny. I got to the top of the mountain and all of a sudden I get like the little ring of my phone and I'm like, I have service. What the hell? And I looked and it was Tatum, my sister. And she's like, it was just FaceTime. And she's like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I'm on top of a mountain right now. She's like, oh, that's cool. Well, after that, I literally was like walking around because I was like, should I look over? Like I was looking over the top and I was like, should I go down there and like just go to but then, you know, you see the big booming clouds coming in and I was like, fuck. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to go.
You're like, oh, storm's coming in. We gotta go.
Yeah. So then I was like, I'm going to go back down the mountain. And as I was kind of going down, I didn't find the trail again, like when I was at the summit. And then I was like, oh shit, like where's the trail? And I just kind of started like just going down. Like I found like an easy little path. It wasn't a trail, but it was like, you know, not like steep rocks and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to walk down here, I guess. And so
the nice thing with the mountain is you go down, you'll be at the bottom eventually. And then you can, hopefully you're not in like a crazy forest and going the wrong way. But,
yeah, exactly.
But if you're going down, you're at least at the bottom and then you could probably find your way.
Yeah.
In a huge forest like this, like they're in, it's going to be hard to tell, especially at night.
Yeah.
And you probably don't have great sense of direction, you know, in their mindset. And yeah, I don't know. Now, one theory I think could happen is Gary had a manic episode. Freaked everybody out. They crashed. Maybe they got out. We're like, let's go just search for help or something. Maybe that's why they got out.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then maybe he freaked them out and they all ran away. I don't know.
Could be.
Like, I don't know how bad an episode can be. It's just a lot of things don't make sense in this story.
Yeah.
And it's like, do we actually have all the facts?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's that's why it's compared with, you know, Dyatlov and
but that's why I love these stories though. Well, because they're interesting and they're just left a mystery.
Yeah. It's a really sad thing though.
It really is.
So
yeah, for the families, it's always tough.
Let's go into what happened.
Let's hear what other people think.
So while this story is ultimately about 5 young men who lost their lives, there is a deeper story lying underneath all of the grief. In fact, once the bodies were found, authorities made it as much a priority to find the woman and the baby as much as the importance of finding Gary Matthias. But after some investigating and a bunch of leads that went nowhere, authorities started to believe that there was no woman and baby. However, the families didn't buy it. In fact, Jack Madruga's mom, Mabel, said, quote, "There was some force that made them go up there. They wouldn't have fled off in the woods like a bunch of quail. We know good and well that somebody made them do it. We can't visualize someone getting the upper hand on those 5 men, but we know it must have been, end quote. Which is a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
So the theories within the family is morphed into the question as to who else was involved. They began to ponder the question of what had they seen? Perhaps the boys saw something after the basketball game, a murder, and they were chased into the woods. Personally, I don't believe that story.
No, not at all.
So
that seems like the least likely thing.
Well, so one of the quotes, let me just get another sip of coffee. One of the quotes, or one of the stories, it was one of their sisters, I believe. And she thought that maybe after the game, when they went to the convenience store, because they were seen on camera at the convenience store. And she was saying that basically, what if they saw like a crime happen and somebody said, hey, you know, like you didn't see anything. And they're like, you're right, we didn't. And they basically were like, okay, get in your car. We're leading you up to this place. And basically they were like going to like execute them because they saw them do something. That was kind of one of the theories that was floating around the family.
Wouldn't you have thought you would have seen something on the security footage then in the convenience store?
Yeah, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, it is 1978. So maybe.
It's true, but there's no claim of that. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting.
And if they were investigating it pretty thoroughly, you would have probably saw who was working at the convenience store at the time they were there and talked to them. And since nothing crazy was said, I doubt that happened.
If
that's just me trying to, pull the facts together.
Yeah. If this happened in New York, maybe I'd believe it because, like mafia and shit. But I think California didn't really have that. Maybe I don't know, but as far as I know, I don't think they had, anyway. So, let's take a look at some of the other theories into this bizarre story. So the number one theory that people believe,
the top dog,
Gary snapped.
Of course.
This theory is considered the most likely by a number of detectives and other law enforcement officers. Gary Mathias, the one who had schizophrenia, history of violence, and drug abuse, was the only body that was never found. The theory states that Mathias had snapped and either led the men to their deaths or abandoned them or killed them himself. I mean, come on. It's definitely the theory with the most puzzle pieces that fit together. But I'm still not really convinced.
I don't think he killed them because then you would have seen the other guy die.
Yeah.
And he would have probably been like stabbed or something,
The
not
other
just
guy,
starving to death.
The other guy, yeah, but like remember the other ones, they didn't
look
really
like they
know.
were mauled by a wildlife animal. Yeah,
so maybe who knows?
But why kill two and not all? I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, and honestly, the Gary snapped theory implies that Mathias had something to do with the strange death of his friends.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I don't really believe that, to be honest. I think maybe he could have snapped and like led them up there, but like maybe that was, that's believable, but I don't think he like killed them or anything.
Yeah, I don't think, this is judging based off of 10 minutes of knowledge about his character, right? But I don't think he would kill his friends.
I don't think so either. Again, even if he did snap, I think you look at him as the suspect because he's the only one that's body wasn't found. But like you could think about it, a bear could have just taken him into like a cave or something.
It's true.
And like that's it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Theory, or the second theory that we're looking at is woman and the baby.
Whatever happened to him?
This theory states that the supposed woman and the baby met the boys somewhere on their journey. She probably asked them for a ride, to which they accepted, and she led them up into the forest on that fateful night. But the theory kind of branches off in different directions from here. One saying that she distracted them and they crashed into the snowbank where she ended up following the men, and she and her infant child were also victims of Mother Nature, but their remains were never found.
Which is a little odd as well.
Yep.
Her and Gary never found.
Interesting, right?
Very.
Gary, secret family. Whoa, that'd be crazy. No,
they went and changed their name and everything.
Well, the most likely branch in this theory, though, is that she attempted to lead the men and steal their stuff, like money or maybe even the car itself. According to this branch of the theory, the woman might have told the men that she noticed something down the hill that could help them get the car unstuck. Once the men went to look, the woman attempted to steal the car, but as she was unable to, she just walked down the hill, never to be seen or heard of again. Now, this theory isn't a bad one, to be honest. Not all hitchhikers have good intentions.
Very true.
Woman could have seen the boys, seen that they had mental disabilities and decided to take advantage of them. It's a sad theory, but a good reminder to look out for yourself because other people might not hesitate to take advantage of your kindness.
Very true.
Yeah.
I'm actually watching Survivor at the moment, and there's this girl on there, and she has she has a mental disability, and she's really bad at being able to tell people are lying because of it, because she can't read people like that, like normal people can when they get like that vibe, And people are like trying to get her off the show right now because she's too nice and on this guy's side, and it's just like, damn. You don't want to see people taken advantage of like that,
Yeah.
When they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's just quite interesting.
But people won't hesitate.
I know.
I mean,
they're fucking terrible people.
So Jake and I just went to a concert. This doesn't really have much to, I guess, do about this whole thing. But essentially, when you're at a concert and you got to squeeze through people, you usually go like, oh, excuse me. Every time I'm trying to get through somebody, I'm like, hey, excuse me. Thanks, man.
Usually
Appreciate
when you
it.
say that, they'll move out of your way.
Exactly.
And it makes it easier for you to go through.
Exactly. Because you're informing people, hey, I'm trying to get by. And they move out of your way.
Most people don't care.
Well, we went to a concert. I swear to God, there were all these douchey ass dudes that were just like going right by us, like bumping into us and whatever, they didn't say, excuse me. They didn't do whatever. And I'm just like,
no, sorry. Even after
I'm like, who the fuck? Like, what the hell?
Yeah. No manners at all.
No, man. I was like, dude, what? Like, usually when I go to a show, especially one as chill as the one we went to, it's like, you get people who are just like, oh yeah, excuse me, man. It's a bunch of people with like good, I guess, manners, what would you concert etiquette?
Yeah.
Because it's all just good people trying to just watch the same band.
Yeah.
And this time it was like, like people were just being assholes, and you're just like, what the fuck? So it's kind of another reminder. It's not to the extent of the hitchhiking and stuff, but it's like another reminder that like people don't care about you.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't. Like
they are in the me mentality.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because it just feels like this whole generation of ours is like that. But
well, yeah, me and Cal always talk about how it's like we never have that thought.
No,
it's always you before me.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so hard to get rid of that because that's how I was raised. It's looking out for other people and stuff. And it's like you're just kind of sharing kindness. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, I don't know. There's times when I'm like upset and I'm mad, but like still, even when I'm like that, I don't, huff and puff and, right. Like push people aside and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's really lost in translation now.
Yeah. It's like, no matter what we're going through in our lives, when we see somebody who's like, I don't know, who needs help or whatever. Yeah. It's like, we don't hesitate, but.
Oh, I know the amount of times I've been taken advantage of because I'm just so nice.
Yeah.
And, I see people down on their luck. They need help paying a bill or something to get them by real quick. And I help them out, and they wouldn't even do the same for me.
No.
But I don't know. It's just,
again, here on the Supernaturals, look out for yourself. Well,
look out for others.
Look out for others.
But
also
don't forget about yourself.
Yeah, that's how you say it right there. Yeah. It's like,
look out for others, but don't forget about yourself.
Don't be like selfish, right? Like sometimes, you have to look out for yourself and stuff. But try to, it does. What is in Deadpool when he's like, it costs nothing to be kind. Wolverine's like, shutting the fuck up is also free. God, that movie is funny. All right. So yeah, there's that. The family local belief. So throughout the region where this haunting event took place, locals and the family members of the Yuba County Five all believe in something that isn't as sinister as the other theories. After some digging, it seems as though the road from Yuba City to Chico isn't very well lit and is a one-lane highway. Some called the road scary to drive at night.
Oh, I know that kind of road.
Yeah.
And when we left Roswell.
Oh yeah, for real.
That was just a single lane highway.
I found that on Reddit. I kind of was like looking into what other people thought, theories, and there was a whole thread on people who were from Yuba City, and they were talking about, okay, they've driven this road 100 times and all that. And, they said that the road to Chico is scary at night. They said it's not very well lit. It's, one lane highway. It's, and
literally you in the headlights.
Yeah. And so I'm saying, like, if it's a scary road today, imagine what it was back in 1978.
Oh, I know.
So, the local kind of idea is that they believe that the boys just got lost. And apparently Gary also had friends that lived along the road up to the Plumas National Forest. Now I only saw a couple of reports, that said that, so take it with a grain of salt. But if it was true, then I could see the young men getting lost. Then Gary told them to go in that direction of the forest so that they could crash at one of his friends' places.
Yeah, it's quite possible. And we do have to remember, this is the 70s, right?
Uh-huh.
It's there. You had no cell phones, no maps to get you.
We had a map.
Well, you had
not like Google Maps.
Yeah, you had no GPS map.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Telling you which direction and what turn to take, right? Mm-hmm. You had to physically read a map.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people today can do that.
Yeah. Well, so it's interesting, to say the least. I mean, again, I didn't see, it wasn't like a confirmed thing, I guess, for me. I just saw a couple of reports saying that he knew people that lived along that road. And if he did, then that would make sense as to why they were up there in the first place. They just didn't drive back. Maybe they were tired. Maybe they were like, oh, dude, this is closer than,
we just crash here.
No, because they were still 50 miles like northeast. It's like, it wouldn't be closer, but I mean, I don't know. That's like, maybe they drove too far or something. I don't know, but regardless, I mean, it would give a reason to why they would be up there.
Mm-hmm. And then they missed a turn, and then they didn't know where they were on the map.
And then they got stuck in a drift. And then, I don't know.
And then got out of the car and walked 20 miles.
Yeah. So regardless, this theory states that the men got lost, got stuck, then tried to find help before getting lost again. Then they all sadly succumbed to the elements. As for Gary's body, as I said, it could have just been never found. As for the woman and the baby, perhaps there never was a woman and a baby. Regardless, this event has haunted authorities in Yuba County area for decades. It serves as a reminder to always be prepared for whatever Mother Nature has to throw at you. It also shows to make sure that your children have the knowledge to survive in situations where you aren't there to protect them. Keep your head on a swivel, everybody. And
constant theme.
Our hearts go out to the family of the boys. We hope that the truth gets unfolded sometime soon. But alas, I fear that this mystery will remain unsolved for the foreseeable future. And that is the story of Yuba County 5.
Wild. You could just take that in so many directions.
You really could. Yeah, it's
very sad. Thoughts and prayers go out to those families that they lost their children. That's always tough.
Yeah, I know.
But, bad things do happen all the time, as we know.
Yeah.
And it's always so sad. But thanks for bearing with us through this tragic story.
Yep. We hope you guys enjoyed another Unsolved Mysteries.
We do have more coming soon.
Season 3 is going to be packed with them.
Yep.
All mountain themed.
Yeah. As all of you guys have wanted, it seemed Unsolved Mysteries were our top dog.
Yes.
Top ones picked that people love listening to.
Yes. So
stay tuned.
There's sadly an abundance of those. So.
Yep. That there is.
We got another cool one that I'm actually excited for. It comes out in October, I think. Is the smiley face killer.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if you guys have heard about that, but that's a good one. That's a fun one. So be ready for that. That's a good unsolved mystery.
Yep.
Little conspiracy theory.
You know how they can keep up to date with all this stuff, though, Cal?
How, Jake?
You follow us on TikTok and Instagram.
And another thing, if you I have another unsolved mystery for you guys. It's why haven't you reached out to our SPN Productions? I actually don't know if they have yet. I don't know, but I was trying to make a good segue, and I don't think it worked, but it's okay. The effort was there.
It was. For effort.
Yeah.
Execution.
Reach out to us on SPN Productions if you have a good idea for something that you want under our label. We would be happy to publish it for you guys.
Exactly.
Share your project with our vastly growing audience. So
that is very true.
We want you guys to be a community of horror. That's really our whole thing, is we just want to be a hub for sharing horror projects and spooky ideas. If you have an idea for a podcast and you don't want to start at zero, reach out to us. We'll house your podcast as well. Your horror films, short films,
all of the above,
everything. And
but as always, stay safe out there. Head on the swivel. Always.
Head on a swivel.
Constant theme. But thank you guys for tuning in and bearing with us again. This has been another good episode of The Supernaturals.
I like when you say that. Another good episode, like you're just applauding what we did.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Put a lot of work into this one. So
a lot of theories. Yeah. Unsolved things that just leave your mind wondering. It's always good. Yeah. Keep that mind thinking,
Yup. All right, guys. Thanks. See you next time. And
we'll see you around the graveyard.
Thanks for listening to this chilling episode of The Supernaturals. For your protection, make sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And stay tuned for the next episode.